Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare You know more than me. So again, today is the divine appearance of Lord Nityananda by the mercy of the great saint Srila Narottam Das Thakur, who we will be speaking about tomorrow. We get a hint of the transcendental identity of Lord Nityananda. Narottam Das Thakur writes, Brajendra Nandana Shri Sachi Sutta Hoilo Se Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Just as Lord Krishna, the Prince of Braja, has appeared as Lord Chaitanya, the son of Mother Sachi, so Lord Balaram has appeared as Nitai. As all of you are educated men and women in the science of Krishna consciousness, you know that Lord Balaram is actually the first expansion of Krishna. Being the first expansion of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada has noted that there's practically no difference between Balaram and Krishna. The only difference is that Krishna is bluish black like a monsoon cloud, and his first expansion, Balaram, is whitish like an autumn cloud. It's the only difference. But because Lord Balaram is an expansion of Krishna, he's subservient to Krishna. How is Lord Balaram subservient to Krishna? He expands himself as Krishna's staff. He expands himself as the umbrella that goes over the Lord. Balaram expands himself as the shoes of Krishna. He expands himself as the Lord's bed. And Lord Balaram expands himself as the Dham. When we go to Mayapur Dham, or we go to Jagannath Puri Dham, or we go to Vrindavan Dham, we love the Dhams. Those Dhams are actually an expansion of Lord Balaram. So in that way he serves the Lord by expanding himself to facilitate his brother, Krishna. He also serves the Lord in a very protective way because he's Dauji. Dauji means he's a little older than Krishna. He appeared before Krishna, so he's Dauji, elder brother. So in Vedic culture, elder brother protects the younger brothers and sisters, isn't it? So such wonderful pastimes. Just as Krishna killed so many demons, Balaram killed so many demons, and they even killed demons together. So amazing are the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram that Prabhupada, when he established our famous Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan, in the center altar, we were expecting Radha and Krishna. I remember, 1976, I think it was. We were expecting him, but Prabhupada said, no, Krishna Balaram. And we asked him why, and Prabhupada said, because we were given this land here in Vrindavan. At that time, it was way outside of Vrindavan proper. This was back, early 70s. So some devotees were even questioning, we're so far away, who will come to our temple? But it became very famous, so many people came because it was the Angrezi temple. Let's go see the Angrezis. But Prabhupada chose to put Krishna and Balaram in the center. He said, because here in Ramanreti, that particular area, there are very soft sands. And Prabhupada said in those sands, Krishna and Balaram had their pastimes. So he thought appropriate. And being brothers, essentially brothers, Krishna and Balaram were inseparable, actually. If you study the scriptures very carefully, you'll note that there's hardly a moment where Krishna and Balaram are separated, except, when there's Rasa Leela going on. Krishna has his Rasa Leela and Balaram has his Rasa Leela. You don't attend your brother's Rasa Leela, it's Asabasa. And also there were a few moments, like for example, on Balaram's birthday, the Brajavasis would celebrate, but that was the day that Krishna chastised the Kaliya serpent. So during that, Krishna was dancing on the heads of the Kaliya serpent, Balaram wasn't there. The news spread very quickly that Krishna is enwrapped in the coils of the Kaliya serpent. So many devotees came to see or to help or to rescue, and Balaram also came running. But other than that, they were like this, they were inseparable. So whenever there's a need for the Lord to leave the spiritual world and come here to this nasty world, this horrible place, as Prabhupada once described it, Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, a temporary place full of misery, Paritranayo sadhanam vinashaya taduskritam dharma samstapanartaya. When Krishna comes out of his causeless mercy to rescue you and me, annihilate the miscreants, and reestablish the principles of dharma, because everything deteriorates in this world, he comes with his entourage. Prabhupada said, just like a king, when a king in Vedic times went anywhere, he wouldn't go alone. He'd bring his family members, his ministers, his guards, his cooks. So in the same way, when the Lord comes from the spiritual world, he comes with his entourage. In fact, one time I heard Prabhupada say in Geneva, Switzerland, you'll never see a picture of Krishna alone. Prabhupada said, at least a peacock must be there. Because the absolute truth means the Lord, his devotee, and the process of loving devotional service. Those three things. This is absolute truth. God, his devotees, and those who are engaging in that process of loving devotional service. So you'll always, Krishna's never alone. He's always with his devotees. So naturally we would assume that if he's always with Balaram, except under a few occasions in the spiritual world, then he will come with Balaram to this world. And he does. He always comes with Balaram. And as Krishna expands into various incarnations for his purposes, he takes particular forms. His personality manifests as different incarnations. For example, when he came as Ram, where was Balaram? It's Lakshman. When he came as Krishna, he brought Balaram. And when he came as Gora, he brought Nitai. Kaviraj Goswami, he poetically describes this amazing phenomena, how these transcendental brothers have also appeared in the age of Kali. Although Krishna is Triyuga avatar, it means generally he appears, or he always appears in 3 ages. It's not mentioned Kali Yuga, because people are too fallen to be delivered. We're the burnt leftovers from previous ages. No hope. But Krishna Vardam Tvisha Krishnam Shangopanga Shiparshadam Yagnai Sankirtan Prayar Jantihi Shumera Shaha. 11th canto, Bhagavatam describes he does come, but not directly. Because if he came as directly as God, everyone would want to imitate him and also become God. And this is the disease of the conditioned soul, to become God, the supreme enjoyer, number one. So in Kali Yuga, he comes disguised as a devotee, but what a devotee. Mahaprabhu, so beautiful. In fact, when he took sannyasa at 24 years of age, he was so handsome, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got worried. How you can maintain your sannyas, young man? He met him in the Jagannath Puri temple. He had fainted due to ecstasy, Mahaprabhu, upon seeing Jagannath. And the chief priest of that temple, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he saw this young sannyasi. He said, I have to initiate you into a higher order of sannyas. You won't make it. You're too beautiful. Little did he know he was talking to the person who's the source of all beauty, the Lord himself. Beauty is one of Bhagavan's opulences. So, Gaur Nitai, they come together. Just as Krishna came as Ram and Lakshman, as he came as Krishna and Balaram, he came as Gaur Nitai. And Kaviraj Goswami very poetically describes how these two transcendental brothers appeared together. He says, Bande Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda Sahodito, Gurodaya Pushpanvanto, Chitta Sando Tamo Nadu. I offer my most respectful obeisances unto Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and the moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Goda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance, and thus wonderfully bestow benedictions upon all. And just as Lakshman assisted Ram in his pastimes in Treta Yuga, just as Balaram assisted Krishna in his pastimes in Dwapara Yuga, and I gave you a definition explicitly how he served Krishna, so Nityananda assisted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastimes in Kali Yuga. And what is the basic pastime in Kali Yuga? Harinama Harinam, Harinama eva kevalam, Kalo nasteva 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 katiranyatha. In the age of Kali, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is the process for self-realization. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. 3 times. You say something in Vedic culture 3 times. That's the biggest emphasis you can give. Nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. So that's the Yuga Dharma. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would preach, Nitai would also preach. But Mahaprabhu is mainly preaching to intellectuals. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Pakshananda Saraswati, Maharaj Pratapurudra. He would speak to intellectuals. Nitai, he had the task of going out and preaching to the masses, and amongst the masses, the most fallen in the masses, like Jagai and Madhai. Why? Why did he focus primarily on the Jagai and Madhais? Because that would reveal the glories of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in its ability to deliver the most fallen people, thus giving faith to the people of Kali Yuga. They could achieve the same perfection as those who practice meditation in the Satya Yuga, as those who did Agnihotras in the Treta Yuga, and those who went to the temple in Dwapara Yuga. The same perfection those great souls achieved in previous yugas could be achieved by a fallen, rotten sinner in Kali Yuga if he or she took up the chanting of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. This is why Nitai went to the most fallen people to glorify the process of chanting Hare Krishna. There's a saying in Bengal, if you see Nitai going into a brothel or a liquor house, don't think ill of him. He's not going there for any ulterior motive. He's there going to teach the people to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, although Nitai has appeared in previous ages as Lakshman and Balaram, the original first expansion of the Lord, there's a special quality to Lord Nityananda's service to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that didn't exist in Ram or Krishna's pastimes. There's some difference. What is that? Well, when Krishna or Ram came to this earth, they displayed their pastimes as a means to give people the impetus to take up their spiritual life. They showed the glories of the spiritual world. And when you compare the spiritual world to the material world, there's only one choice. I'll go to the spiritual world. The spiritual world is described as eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. And you look at this world, it's temporary, full of ignorance and suffering, so it's a no-brainer. Where do you want to go? You want to stay here, where life is temporary, full of ignorance and suffering, or go to that world which is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss? Who wants to stay here? Raise your hand. Who wants to go there? Raise your hand. You see, well, you've already made your decision 10 years ago. So when the Lord comes, basically what it is, it's like a theater. When you go to the theater, you sit in the seats and then you become inspired. You walk out of the theater and you're just, whatever the theme of the theater was, it stays in your heart for a little while, and you want to be like that hero, or you want to rescue that girl, you want to be the champ, whatever. It's all mundane, but you're inspired. So when the Lord comes and shows the theater of the spiritual world, the reality of the spiritual world, I want to become devotee. But just like the actors don't invite the members of the audience to come on the stage, no. But in Kali Yuga, in the theatrical production, the reality is what? They're introducing the process of the Yuga Dharma of chanting Hare Krishna. So the actors, the Panchatattva, they invite the audience, come on the stage and chant and dance with us and take prasad. This is the difference, isn't it? We're not just watching, we're participating in the pastimes. Someone may think, I'm so unfortunate. I miss the pastimes of Lord Ram. I met one lady, she was, where she was from, in India, but she was elderly. All day long, 22 hours a day, she was writing Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai. She had half the house was full of books, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. I said, why are you doing that? She said, I miss the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. This is the way I remember him, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Or we may lament, I miss the pastimes of Krishna. In cosmic time, what is 5,000 years? It's just a moment like that. What to speak of the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? We just miss them by a blink of the eye. We're thinking 100 years, 500 years, it's only 5 generations, going back a few grandmas and grandpas. We just missed the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. But no, we didn't miss. Because the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are still going on. Because what is his pastime? Introducing the Sankirtan movement to the masses. And he said that the chanting of my names will go to every town and village of the world. And that will go on this was the golden age of Kali Yuga. According to the Acharyas, this is the golden age of Kali Yuga. It will go on for 10,000 years. So we're like pioneers in this process of distributing the holy names to every town and village. So you could say, in essence, the Sankirtan movement is still going on. One cannot preach Krishna consciousness unless he's empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's very much present. Very much present. So we can be part. This is the difference. Before you could only watch. This is very nice, Krishna Leela, Ram Leela. One day I would like to participate. Then you have to become perfect. Then you can participate. But the mercy of Gaur Nitai, you don't need any qualification except some enthusiasm. Yes, I want to chant and dance and be happy like those Hare Krishnas. Come join us. No, come on. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And in Rome, I heard Prabhupada say from the Vyasa-san, as soon as one chants Hare Krishna, Krishna takes a little black book, he marks your name down. Even one time, your name's there. That's it. And what is the result if you perform Sankirtan? In other words, if you, just like Gaur Nitai came to introduce the Sankirtan movement, this was their Leela introducing. So if you're also introducing, just like father has a business and he's always hoping that in his old age the son will take over the business. I see the signs all over India. Agarwal and Sons. Sharma and Sons. Right? So the Supreme Father, that's Krishna. Aham bija para pita, Krishna says he's the seed-giving father of all living entities. So in his absence, if you take up the same mission, you become very dear to the Supreme Father. Very, very dear. So if you help Mahaprabhu, or you help Lord Nityananda to spread the Sankirtan movement, what happens? You get kripa. It's not enough just to practice, to ring the bells in the temple, to leave the comfort zone and go out and according to your ability, contribute. This is first and foremost a missionary movement. It's a missionary movement. And to the degree that we can assist, we get kripa. Just like Prabhupada Saraswati says in his Chaitanya Chandamrita. He was a great devotee of Mahaprabhu. He said to the degree that we surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, to that degree we get the mercy of Srimati Radharani in Goloka. So what will happen if you help? Of course, if you can just practice, this is also good. But life is short and then you die. Padam padam yat vipadam natesham. There's danger at every step. We all have friends who passed away already, tragically in an accident or cancer at a young age or whatever. This is the law of nature, so easy could happen to us. We have to have this sense of urgency to become Krishna conscious. So here's the formula. You help, you assist, you bring others into the fold. And if you do that, what will happen? Narottam Das Thakur says, Nitai parakamalam koti chandra shushitala jai jai jaya jagat juraya. He says, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are like the cool moonlight of a million moons, under whose shelter everyone can find relief from the blazing fire of material suffering. So if we're suffering, and we have to be honest, we're all suffering to various degrees, what is the medicine? Chemotherapy? Sometimes the solution is worse than the problem itself. There's so many solutions, but what is the panacea? It's a powerful word in English, panacea. Panacea means the solution to all problems. And in material life, you can just speculate what is the panacea. But the panacea is the medicine bought by Gaur Nitai. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has brought the medicine for the people of Kali Yuga to solve all problems. Because how are all problems solved? When you leave the world of problems. There's a set of problems when you're an infant. There's a set of problems when you're a child. There's a set of problems when you're a teenager. There's a set of problems when you're middle-aged. And I can tell you there's a set of problems when you reach 70 years of age. It all starts falling apart. You're giving class and you get one of those senior moments where you can't remember what you were talking about. There's problems from A to Z. And no amount of science or technology is going to change the fact. Science and technology can make life a little more easier, a little more tolerable, a little more comfortable. You can't stop birth, disease, old age, and death. So what is the panacea? It's on the tip of your tongues. Therefore, Prabhupada said, if you've got time, chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. In fact, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Guru of Srila Prabhupada, he said, you can tell how good a lecture is by how many times the speaker mentioned the name Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Right? Radha Swami is going to ask, how was Maharaj's lecture? Whoa, really good. Krishna, 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 Krishna. So historically, Lord Nityananda, he appeared as the son of Hadai Pandit and Mother Padmavati. In Ekachakra, everyone knows now Ekachakra, 1473. That I remember. And he appeared 13 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, they were unable to conceive a child for some time. But one night, a great sage appeared in the dream of Mother Padmavati. And this sage revealed to her that very soon she will conceive a son who's a Mahapurusha. He said it's worth waiting for. Like Prabhupada said, the demigods are lining up and the heavenly planets waiting to take birth in this ISKCON movement. So if you have to wait a little bit for a great soul, no problem. And this Mahapurusha, the sage revealed in her dream, he will possess unlimited Shakti. And what's more, he will deliver thousands of sinners from bondage. Oh, she was expecting somebody very special. And you know, we have that word in English, prodigy. You know, like the parents are just, normal people, workers in the factory or something. But at 4 years old, their child climbs up on the piano and plays, Mozart or Beethoven. With prodigy. So in spiritual life, we also have prodigy. Just like Prabhupada said, that he with a touch of pride, because there's also pride in spiritual life. We're proud of our Krishna conscious parents. We're proud of our leaders in ISKCON. We're proud of the Pancha Tattva. We're proud of the previous acharyas. So, yeah, like that. Prabhupada said one time, I appeared in a family of pure devotees. My father, Gaur Mohan Dey, he was a pure devotee of the Lord. And Prabhupada actually dedicated the Krishna book to his father, mentioning him as a pure devotee, where he got the impetus for Krishna consciousness, which was further solidified by his eternal father and spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So prodigy means that, the child is born into a family, and that child manifests extraordinary qualities from the very beginning. Recently, I was with a family in America and visiting, and I like to be friendly with children and encourage them. So there's one 6-year-old girl there, and I was saying, so, what you do in the daytime will reflect at nighttime when you have dreams. So be a good little girl, and chant Hare Krishna, read Krishna book, and eat your gulab jamans. Then you'll dream about Krishna. So she said, Maharaj, do you dream of Krishna? Well. I said, no, but do you? She said, no, but I dream of Radharani. Oh, you dream of Radharani? Every night. Oh, really? Like, what do you do? Well, like it said in Ananda Vindapan Champu. She's going on. The Sakis are the older girls, but we're the Manjaris, we're the younger girls in the dream, and we help the Sakis. And the Sakis can't come when there's intimate pastimes. They're too old, but she's going on like that. So I'm making the chandan, sometimes I'm making the garlands, sometimes I'm fanning Radharani. Do you fan Krishna? No, I don't fan Krishna, I fan Radha. So I said, wow, that's what you dream? She said, yeah, every night. I said, boy, I wish I could have dreams like that and be a servant of Radha. She said, no way, you can't do it. I said, why? Because you're a male. Okay, kid. So we had prasadam, and at the end I took a little prasadam off her plate and ate it. You never know who you're sitting next to. So prodigy. So Nitai was like that. Obviously, he's Lord Nityananda, he's the Lord himself. So one time he was playing with his childhood friends, and they were doing Ram Lila. And the boy who was playing Ravana shot an arrow, pretend arrow, to little Nitai, who was playing Lakshman. And he fell totally unconscious on the ground. No one could revive him. His mother was screaming, oh, my Nitai. So the boy who was playing Hanuman ran over to a little hillock and pulled some grass out, like, the herbs that Hanuman got from the Himalayas, and gave it to Nitai, and immediately came awake again. But he actually fell unconscious. So performing these pastimes, it was not play, it was all transcendental reality. So when he was 12 years old, or 12 or 13, Mahaprabhu appeared in Mayapur Dham. So knowing this fact, not many people knew because he was Chana Avatar, hidden incarnation. He manifested his glories a little bit later when he was ready to start the Sankirtan movement. Only Haridas Thakur and Advaitacharya, they knew that that Mahaprabhu had appeared, so they were dancing on the banks of the Ganga like madmen. But of course, Nitai, being the Lord himself, when Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadvip, it's described in Shastra that Lord Nityananda roared so loud, he made the entire universe unconscious for a few moments in his ecstasy. And he thought, how will I ever leave this Ekachakra and join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He's thinking, why was he thinking? Because his mother and father had so much affection for him. Your Indian families, you know how tight the family is. Even I'm meeting the boys, and there's a nice girl to get married, but the parents don't agree, so give her up. Okay. The ties are very strong. So Nitai was thinking, how am I going to leave home and join my transcendental brother in Kali Yuga to spread the holy names? Couldn't figure it out. But one day, a very tall sannyasi came to the house of Hadai Pandit. And when a sannyasi comes to your home, I'm just reminding you, when a sannyasi comes to your home and preaches a little bit, or better yet, comes to the temple and gets everyone together, then the tradition is you have to give the sannyasi anything he asks for. So all these young boys, you'll come with me after the class, and we're going to go to the Polish tour, and you'll be part of... It's okay, parents, I won't take them. So this sannyasi, after speaking and enlightening the family members, he said, I have something I'd like to request. So Hadai Pandit said, sir, you're a sannyasi, whatever it is, what do you require? He said, that boy, your son. So Hadai Pandit, he immediately consented, but the mother didn't consent. She said, please don't take my life away from me. Isn't it? The children, for the mother, the children, the life and soul, and so it should be. Because mother's meant to give that child the impression of Krishna consciousness. I was reading recently a psychology report that what we experience between the ages of 1 and 5 really determine who and what will be for the rest of our lives. It's such an important period. Although they may not appear to be intelligent, intelligence awakens at 5. There's a transformation there based on how the mother and father take care of the child. So Papa's working, Mother's taking care of the children. So the love is very strong. Hardest thing in the world is to send the boy to Gurukul at 7 years of age. I've seen the mothers cry. It's heartbreaking. I can't watch. So the Hadai Pandit, to facilitate the pastimes that were unfolding for the Sankirtan movement, he said, give me your boy. Don't take my life from me. So just to see how elevated was Mother Padmavati, that sannyasi took out a deity of Krishna. A beautiful deity of Krishna. Turibanga Sundara, bent in 3 places, his eyes elongated to his ears, his lips red like bimba fruit, playing on his venu, his flute. So beautiful deity. The deity was named Murlidhar, and he gave that deity to Mother Padmavati and said, this deity will fulfill your desires. In fact, if you worship this deity very nicely, you will one day see your son in this deity. So she took that deity, and while looking at him with loving eyes, she actually saw the face of her little boy Nityananda in the deity. So her heart was so satisfied, she gave her blessing, said, now you can take him, you can go. So elevated. Just like when Prabhupada was installing the small chota Radha Krishna deities in Los Angeles in the early 70s. He said, if you see these deities as brass, they'll remain like brass to you forever. But if you worship them according to the rules and regulations of Scripture, and you develop some attachment, Prabhupada said, one day these deities will talk to you. He said that to the devotees, ISKCON devotees, in the very beginning of the movement. So Mother Padmavati, she took the instruction of the sannyasi and looked at that deity affectionately. She saw her son in the deity. So she took that deity as her life and soul, and her son could go. So after traveling some time, the sannyasi passed away, but Nitai kept traveling. And Bhakti Ratnakara describes that during his pastimes of traveling to all the holy places in India, he came to Pandharpur, and he met a very special personality. The Bible says, seek and ye shall find. So the most important thing about going to a holy place is to associate with the holy people who live there. And because by hearing from them, you can understand the real glories of the holy place. It's said that a saintly person, he sees with his ears, not with his eyes. So when we go to a holy place, we're seeking out, yes, the Leelas, but we get that impression by associating with the sadhus who live there. So in visiting Pandharpur, Nitai had the good fortune to meet Madhavinda Puri. And upon seeing Madhavinda Puri, who was the first person to really explain Madhurya Ras, as we understand it in Brajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham, he said to him, my dear Madhavinda Puri, my pilgrimage has at last borne fruit today. Important instruction. And what did Madhavinda Puri reply? Sir, I have never before seen such ecstatic love of God as you have. But wherever such love of God is found, that is my favorite holy place. Isn't that nice? Wherever that love of God is found, that is my holy place. And where is that place where you find the highest love of God, most pure? Shri Brajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. It's nice to hear how these great souls associated together and never criticized each other, but only glorified each other. So Nitai, he actually traveled for 20 years. And when he knew, because again, he's the super soul in everyone's heart, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he knew that Mahaprabhu had revealed himself, Sadbhuja, as the personality of Godhead, and taken the kirtan out of the house of Srivas Thakur. Out! Take the chanting to the streets. Just like at 26th Avenue, the devotees were chanting with Prabhupada for a long time. And one day Prabhupada said, all right, now take it outside on the streets of New York. Like, whoa, wait a minute. We're going to go in our robes with our shaved heads. And yep. That was the beginning of the Sankirtan movement in the Western Hemisphere. And you see that picture in that famous 26th Avenue film, that original film, that Brahmananda's coming out with, the big bass drum and, different devotees all kind of nervous to get out. But as soon as they got out there, they were experiencing the ocean of bliss of Sri Krishna Sankirtan, and it became a regular function in Tompkins Square Park, where Prabhupada also went and chanted Hare Krishna with the bongo. So when the Sankirtan movement started in earnest, Nitai, he rushed to Navadvip. He ran there, it's described. Just like one time Prabhupada was speaking about his disciples and how wonderful they were in their presence. Prabhupada liked to associate with his disciples. When it came time for association, Prabhupada didn't run back to India and go to see his godbrothers, with all due respect. He felt very happy in his disciples' association. So he was glorifying them. One devotee raised his hand and said, Prabhupada, I don't know how I made it here. I was so sinful. And he started listing off his sins. And about to stop, he said, that's all right. You may have been very sinful, but when you heard the chanting of Hare Krishna, you came running. That's your qualification. It's one of my favorite stories. You were who you were. You were doing what you did. Yes, it's a big disqualification. But when you heard the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, you came running. That's our only qualification. That we came running and joined the Sankirtan party with our hands in the air. We kept on chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Know for certain that chanting brought us to this movement. It's maintaining us in this movement, and it will deliver us back to Goloka Vrindavan. All glories to the holy names. Kali Kali Nam Rup, Krishna Avatar. In the age of Kali, the incarnation is the sound vibration of Krishna's holy names. So he was running to Navadvip, and Vrindavan Das Thakur describes that on the way he was intoxicated with Krishna Prema, and he was just like an intoxicated elephant. They sway to and fro. So Vrindavan Das Thakur says, on the way, Nitai was swaying to and fro like a mad elephant, intoxicated by Krishna Prema. Sometimes he was weeping, sometimes he was crying, sometimes he was laughing like a madman. He's avadut. Doesn't follow the general process. He's avadut, he's above it all. He's mad, he's intoxicated with love of God. And when he arrived in Navadvip, he went to the house of Nandana Acharya. He didn't go directly to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He went to the house of Nandana Acharya. But that night, Lord Chaitanya had a dream about Lord Nityananda. And when he woke in the morning, he was in the mood of Lord Balaram. He had a dream of Nitai, but who's Nitai? He's Balaram. So when Lord Chaitanya woke up in the morning, having dreamt of Nitai, he had this mood of Balaram, and he said to Srivas Pandit, "Bring me my liquors." You know, Balaram, he likes the honey from the tree, the Varuni beverage. You know, Varuni beverage. On Balaram's appearance day, we take a little bit of water, a little bit of milk, we pour tons of honey in it. We offer it to Balaram, we drink it, and we become little cuckoo. The Varuni beverage. Balaram becomes intoxicated with the Varuni beverage. Not like we do, but in a transcendental way. So in the mood of Balaram, because he dreamt of Nitai, Lord Chaitanya said to Srivas Pandit, "Bring me my liquors." So Srivas Pandit, these are very deep pastimes. He said to Mahaprabhu, "My Lord, you have those liquors in the form of love of God, and you are already distributing them to others in the form of the Hare Krishna mantra." So Mahaprabhu turned to Srivas and he said, Srivas Pandit, he said, "Yes, but to deliver this Krishna prema, I require my Nitai." Sometimes Prabhupada, when he's talking about Krishna, he said, "Our Krishna." So Srivas Pandit, then Mahaprabhu replied to him, "To distribute this Krishna prema, I need Nitai." So he said, "Go find Nitai." So Srivas Pandit, along with Haridas Thakur, they went everywhere in Navadvip. Is he here? Is he there? But Vrindavan Das Thakur says in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, "Bhara Gudya Nityananda Tattva He Avatare Chaitanya Dikaya Jare Sedikite Pare." He alone can see him, Nitai, who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals to him. You can't see Nitai unless it's by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You can't see any of these personalities without Kripa, without mercy. We depend on Guru and Gauranga to have darshan of these personalities. So Srivas and Radha, they were looking everywhere, they couldn't find him because Mahaprabhu had a different plan. So the next night he said, "I will find him." So immediately he made a beeline right for the house of Nandanacharya. What a scene that would make in a movie. It would be like the pinnacle of the movie when Lord Nityananda after traveling around for 20 years, knowing of the appearance of Chaitanya, waiting for the Sankirtan movement, because Nitai came to preach. He's the commander-in-chief of the Sankirtan army. He's ready to preach. And when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they'd been separated for so long, and Krishna and Balaram, they're never separated. What a scene that would be in the movie, the transcendental emotion of running. Now they do it in some romantic movie. The boy runs to the girl, and the girl jumps in his arms. Yuck. Sannyasi talk. They ran and they jumped in each other's arms, and they embraced, and they fell unconscious in transcendental ecstasy. So at that time, Gadadhar Pandit was there. Now, all these personalities, although Mahaprabhu was Chana avatar, a hidden avatar, he couldn't fool his immediate associates. Just like if your mommy dresses up for some costume ball, she dresses up like Cinderella or something, and she passes by, "Hey mom, what time's dinner?" "I'm Cinderella." "You're not Cinderella. You're my mom. Come on, what time's dinner?" So although Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as disguised so he could start his Sankirtan movement appropriately, couldn't fool Haridas Thakur at Vaitacharya. They all were dancing the moment he appeared in Navadvip. So these associates, they knew everything about Chaitanya and Nityananda. So Gadadhar Pandit, when he saw the two of them fallen on the ground unconscious, he knew their transcendental identities as Krishna and Balaram, so he recited the following verse to bring them back to consciousness. Bear in mind, Gaur and Nitai have fallen on the ground after meeting, and they're unconscious. So Gadadhar Pandit uses a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam to revive them, help them remember their pastimes as Krishna and Balaram and wake up. Listen to this verse. It's from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-5. Wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, blue kanikara flowers on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and the Vajjayanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers as he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd boys sang his glory. Boom! Gaur Nitai immediately woke up. That's us. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. Oh, wait a minute. This is Kali Yuga. So, seeing this, the devotees, they were like mesmerized, like, wow. These two divine personalities have met. What's going to happen now? So everyone was silent. So Mahaprabhu, he requested Srivas to break the silence by making the deep personality of Lord Nityananda manifest. So Srivas sang a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam describing Krishna's coming back from the forest. And when Nitai heard this verse, he fainted and came back to consciousness. And upon seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nitai said, "I searched the whole world over but couldn't find you. Now I have found the thief who has stolen my heart. Now I will never let you go." Shri Nityananda Ram Ki. This is real love. I'll never let you go. At that point, thank God for God, at that point the Sankirtan movement began in earnest. And as I said earlier, well, let us say that Kaviraj Goswami describes in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lord Chaitanya created a net of Sankirtan which no one can escape. Just like in the old days, the gladiators, they would fight with different weapons. One of their weapons was a net. They'd throw the net over somebody, that person couldn't move, and then they'd kill them. Or fishermen will catch fish in a net. So Mahaprabhu, he created a network, International Society for Krishna Consciousness Key, by which nobody in Mumbai can escape. Everywhere I go, Hare Krishna. Even I was in Chor Bazaar. I practically live there. So many cool things you can find for deity puja. Even the Muslims, I walk back. Oh, Hare Krishna. Salam alaikum. No, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Mahaprabhu covers everything from A to Z. So himself, he would, like here, I'm always saying that I feel intimidated to come and preach here because, as I say, I've heard that to be a brahmachari in this temple, you have to have a master's in engineering, information technology, biology, I don't know what. And if you have a PhD, you get more Mahaprashadam than the other brahmacharis. Like that. So who am I to speak to all these educated persons? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would preach like that to the intellectuals, Sarvabhauma, Prakasananda, Kingpata Parudra, Brahmins, Kshatriyas. Nitai, go out, preach to the fallen masses. So he had a Sankirtan partner. Who was his partner? Haridas Thakur. They'd go out, and Haridas Thakur was a little elderly, and Nitai, again, he's avadut, totally immersed in love of God. They'd knock on the doors, and Nitai would say, chant! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. And the lady of the house would go, no. And he said, no? No. Chant, no. Chant, no. Like Prabhupada would say sometimes, he would encourage, chant, I can't. Chant, I can't. Chant. So Nitai would say, unless you chant Hare Krishna, I'm going to get on the ground, roll around your house, and break all your furniture. No. He'd get on the ground, he'd start rolling around. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Nitai, thank you very much. You're delivered. But sometimes, because again, there's this strong connection between Nitai and Balaram, like there's a strong connection between Chaitanya and really Radha and Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanga. So sometimes when the young girls would come, Balaram would see them like gopis. You would like to Rasa Leela with me? And the parents would get sent, Haridas, oh my God, Nitai, stop talking like that. We're never going to, she's a beautiful gopi, she has so much bhav for Krishna. So there were some problems, so they'd come back and Haridas Thakur complain, can I get another Sankirtan partner? He'd say, I go out with this Nityananda, this Avaduta, and he jumps in the Ganga and chases crocodiles. He rides on a bull and he says, I am Shiva. We're going around town, there's a bull. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. He plunders the cowherds and the farmers and eats all the yogurt and embraces the young girls and asks them to dance with him for a night of Brahma. I need a new Sankirtan partner, please. Mahaprabhu would have none of it. Just go out and preach. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So we all know the pastime of Jagai and Madhai. You just close your eyes. Remember there was one Sunday feast where they did the play, right? And one of the intellectual PhD brahmacharis played Jagai, and one of the 3 PhDs played Madhai, and we all kind of laugh, but this is no laughing matter. We have that saying in English, this is no laughing, my mother used to say, this is no laughing matter, your poor grades. Sorry, boys. So, Jagai and Madhai, they were rascals number 1. We say in Hindi, dacoit. They were dacoits. They were rapers, murderers, extortionists, like this. So, when Mahaprabhu gave his mercy to Jagai and Madhai, later Madhai felt so bad that he'd broken the pot on the head of Lord Nityananda. He felt remorse. You can be the worst of the sinners, but if you express remorse and you agree to change your ways and you chant Hare Krishna, you can be accepted into the brahmacharya ashram, even without a PhD. Isn't it? If you express remorse, you give up sin, and you chant Hare Krishna, it doesn't matter. You can be from hellish planets. Just like one time, one of my godbrothers, he asked Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, where are you going when you leave this world? I mean, I would never ask a question like that to my spiritual master. But it's a new bhakta. Where are you going? Prabhupada said, I'm going to Patala Loka. I plan to preach in the hellish planets. Follow me there. Only the sincere students will go to Patala Loka. I would go to get Prabhupada's association. So this was the nature of Jagai and Madhai. So Madhai, when he broke that pot and blood came, and although he was delivered, he could never forget this act of violence on Lord Nityananda. In fact, one time, Madhai approached Lord Nityananda after this pastime, after he was delivered. Actually, when Mahaprabhu accepted Jagai and Madhai as his disciples, because they promised to do those three things, he embraced them. He embraced Jagai and Madhai. You know what happened? His body turned black like night. Not like Shamsundar. Black like night from the sins of Jagai and Madhai. And he said to the general assembly of devotees, anyone who speaks ill of a Vaishnava, anyone who criticizes a Vaishnava, anyone who finds fault with a Vaishnava, I will give them these black sins of Jagai and Madhai. Therefore, the first offense to the holy name is to blaspheme devotees who have dedicated their lives for preaching the glories of the Lord. There may be some pockmarks on the moon, but overall the moon is very beautiful and is giving light in the darkness of night. So better to see the good qualities and know the bad qualities are there, but know if someone's chanting Hare Krishna, these bad qualities will fly away in due course of time. Many lessons to be learned from these pastimes. So, Madhai, when he met Lord Nityananda and he saw that little scar on his forehead, you know what he said to him? Would you like to hear what he said? No. My Lord, when I think that it is you who sustains the universe in the form of Vishnu, it is by your Shakti that Brahma creates and Rudra destroys the universe. And it is you whose body I struck. The fire of penitence begins to smolder in my heart, and there is no peace for me. I think you should not have forgiven me. And he falls at the feet of Lord Nityananda and he begs, please save me. So we should identify more with Jagai and Madhai than Maharaj Patra and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. We should be honest with ourselves, call a spade, and we are more in that fallen category. But if we're begging for forgiveness for our sins, and we enthusiastically take up the process of practicing Krishna consciousness, and what's more, distributing Krishna consciousness, then like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said at one initiation ceremony, he said, I see no reason why all my disciples cannot go back to Godhead in one lifetime. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki, Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai. Sri Guru Parampara ki. Jai. So what did Lord Nityananda say? How did he reply? Madhai, you are like my own child, my son. If the child strikes the father, does the father feel hurt? I was walking in, I saw one mother carrying her baby. Boom, baby kicked her in the mouth. She smiled. I'm walking down the street and somebody kicks me in the mouth. I'm not going to smile. But because it's baby, no, it's a love tap. So Nitai took it like that. We have so much, our well-wishers have so much love and so much compassion for all of us. We should never abuse it. But then he continued. He said, my dear Madhai, if you want then to purify yourself, make a bathing ghat for all the people that come here to Navadvip to bathe in the Ganges. chant 300,000 names of Krishna every day. That's 192 rounds. And serve the lotus feet of anyone who comes to bathe. You wash their feet. So here's the gangster, the Don, the godfather of all the bad guys in Navadvip. What's he doing? The pilgrim, please put your feet here in the Ganga, let me scrub them, let me take the water and put it on my head. This is the power, this is the transformation that comes when we chant sincerely, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So he did that, Madai. He built a ghat, it's still there. I was there recently, the ghat's still there. I took the water, I drank I took the mud, I ate the mud, took the grass, squeezed it on my head. There must be some atoms of mercy from that devotee. Actually, Jagai Madai went on to accept disciples. That's simply amazing. The mercy of Lord Nityananda, isn't it? Prabhupada said, before all of you came to speaking to us Western boys and girls, hippies, before you came to Krishna consciousness, you were all dirty and forlorn and despondent, engaged in so many sinful activities, sad. But now that you've come to Krishna consciousness with Kantimala and Japamala, shaved heads, saris and dhotis, he said, smiling, you look just like you've come from Vaikuntha. So we shouldn't think, though, we should remain humble. It was only a few hours ago we were on the street in cosmic time. We should never think we're better than others. We don't want this smarta brahmana consciousness to seep into Krishna consciousness like it did into Vedic culture at one time. We're not better than anyone else. We're just a little more fortunate. And if you share that good fortune with others, you won't be bereft. Like if you give something away, you've lost it. But in Krishna consciousness, 1 minus 1 equals 1,000,000. So if you share the good fortune you've had with others, you won't be bereft. You'll get it back 1,000,000 times. And that's the secret to advancement in Krishna consciousness, to preach. Prabhupada said, if you want to please me, distribute books, distribute books, distribute books, which means also so many different activities. So, Jagai and Madhai were delivered, and this pastime was there to give us hope. To further facilitate his mission, Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. And he proceeded to Nilachala, Jagannath Puri, with Nitai. He got to Dandabanga. It's now called Dandabanga, where the danda was broken. He liked his danda very much, like I like my danda. You see my danda? I love my danda. I wasn't carrying a danda. They say after 10 years you don't have to carry it. The 3 times I dreamt to Prabhupada, why are you not carrying your danda? Well, then I had this danda made. It breaks apart in 3-4 pieces. I can take it on the airplane, no problem. And Prabhupada told Bhavananda, you don't actually have to wrap the danda, because I like how the Shankacharya sannyasis, they carry their danda, the Ramanujis, like that without. So, Mahaprabhu, this is the emblem. It's said that the 33 crores of demigods reside in the danda. And we need all the help we can get to become Krishna conscious. Sadhu Sangha, Sarvashrastakoi, Lavamatra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarvasiddhi Hoy. I have 33 million demigods with me. So they were traveling together, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at one point near Puri, he wanted to go visit a nearby Shiva temple. He gave his danda to Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda addressed the danda. He talked to the danda. He said, hey danda, you are so bold, you are so arrogant, the one whom we hold dearly in our hearts, you ride on his shoulder. Today, you will have to suffer punishment for the sin of riding on the shoulder of he who is... He broke that danda in 3 places and threw it in the river. Now Mahaprabhu came back from seeing Lord Shiva, my danda. And Nitai said, I broke that old bamboo pole. Bamboo pole? This is 33 million demigods reside. You call it a bamboo pole? Nitai said, I know that all the demigods reside in that danda, but we cannot tolerate your carrying the demigods on your shoulder. They should carry you. Mahaprabhu said, that danda was my only companion after taking sannyas. When a man takes sannyas, his name is struck off the town register, dead. He becomes materially dead, and he becomes a citizen of the world. And his only companion is his danda. Now it's gone, Mahaprabhu said. Therefore I will travel to Puri alone. And he walked off to Puri alone. Vaishnava commenters say that actually it was the mercy of Nitai that he broke up that danda. And there's a very deep esoteric reason why Nitai broke the danda, dandabhanga. And I'll tell you next year when I come to Chowpatty on this day. Would you like to know today? It's very deep. The acharyas say that within that danda of Mahaprabhu was the real essence of his movement, what he really wanted to distribute to the world, which was Krishna Prema. Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gotashve. This is the mystery. This is the most amazing thing, that he came to give Krishna Prema, 24-karat gold love of God, not even Aishwarya Bhav, but Madhurya Ras, to the Jagai and Madhais of Kali Yuga. What? That verse came from the mouth of Srila Rupa Goswami when he first saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like you meet someone, oh, how are you? Oh, nice. No. Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prem Pavrayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gotase. This is how Rupa Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Fell at his feet. That's where the verse came from. So that prema was in the danda. And when he broke open that danda in 3 places, that prema flowed out throughout the world by the mercy of the Lord's devotee. Nitai. Shri Nityananda Mahajan ki, Krishna Prema ki, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. Just a little bit longer, because we have to relish these days. Every day in Krishna consciousness is potent, but these days are super potent. Later Mahaprabhu, he toured South India, he came back, and he asked Nitai to become a householder. The idea being that most of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates were renunciates, so people might think in order to become Krishna conscious, I have to become a renunciate. But most people can't do that. So as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the crest jewel for those in the renounced order of life, his other half, his brother, showed the example for householders. How to follow the path, the natural path of, the safest path, Prabhupada said of, boys, close your ears. Huh? The safest path, Grihastra life. You didn't hear that. We situate ourselves in that ashram where we feel the most comfortable so we can peacefully practice Krishna consciousness. So these are the glories of Lord Nityananda. It's said that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always in 4 places. Where was he in 4 places? He was at Mother Sachi's house. He was present in the kirtan of Srivas Pandit. He's always present in the house of Raghava Pandit and wherever Lord Nityananda is dancing. So on these days we take every opportunity to have kirtan and dance. I didn't see any of you dancing. You were sitting like very good bhajananandis. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You have some heavy boots on or what? You can't dance. Chanting, dancing, and feasting. Even Prabhupada was elderly. He was 75, 80. He was dancing. It was Prabhupada who actually made, amongst the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the worship of Lord Nityananda so prominent Actually, if you go to the Gaudiya Math temples, you see Gauranga on the altar. Radha, Krishna and Gauranga, because Gauranga is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. He's the Yuga avatar. But Prabhupada introduced the worship of Nityananda. Gaurnitai, actually. And he made that mantra very popular. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasi. Because when you chant Hare Krishna, you can make offenses. There's 10 offenses. There's no offenses when you chant the Panchatattva mantra. Because Gaurnitai, they don't accept offenses, they only accept seva. Otherwise, how will the people of this age be delivered? They don't accept offenses, they only accept seva. That seva, that's our saving grace, so to speak, to use a little pun there, it's our saving. I remember one time I wrote to Prabhupada and I said, I'm traveling Sankirtan party at 7 brahmacharis in a little van, squeezed, packed up tight. At night we'd sleep in the van, and so like sardines, if one person turned over, everybody turned over. And we had our shower in the corner, and you just sit and wait while somebody's bathing and splashing you, and Bhagavatam class, we'd cook there, everything. So I wrote Prabhupada, I said, we want to have Gaurnitai deities to remain enthusiastic. And Prabhupada wrote back, no. You boys are doing such important work, the deity worship will become a botheration. You don't have room in your van. I don't know how he knew. But later, he wrote us, some months later, that he said, I have a very good idea. Gaurnitai are very merciful. I want you to make Gaurnitai deities in brass and distribute them door to door. Can you imagine? Prabhupada wrote us, distribute deities of Gaurnitai door to door. Why? Because Lord Nityananda is so merciful. One time there was a devotee in a temple in southern part of the United States, and he was nonsense. He did some nonsense things. So the temple president kicked him out just before Prabhupada came. Prabhupada came, and he was in his room one evening. That devotee climbed in the window and came into Prabhupada's room. Prabhupada, they have kicked me out of the temple. What have you done? Oh, I did this, I did that. You are such a nonsense. Call the temple president. Temple president came, and Prabhupada told him, this man has to stay in the temple. The temple president said, do you know what he's done? Yes, I know what he's done. Prabhupada said, but you should know that Lord Nityananda is very, very, very merciful. That's all Prabhupada said. 3 times. Lord Nityananda is very, very, very... What I say 3 times to stress something. Ita is he's so kind. And again, the best way to worship him is to serve that which is dear to his heart. This is from a lecture of Srila Prabhupada. Listen carefully. Nityananda Prabhu approached Jagai and Madhai at the risk of being personally injured. And still he definitely delivered them. The world is full of Jagai and Madhais, namely drunkards, woman hunters, meat eaters, and gamblers. And we have to approach them at the risk of insult, injury, and similar other rewards. To face such reverse conditions of life and to suffer thereby the results of actions is considered as the greatest penance and austerity in the matter of spiritual advancement of life. January 27th, 1970. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Fortunately, in this country, people are aware, still somewhat aware of spiritual culture, so it's not so difficult. Prabhupada said in London one time, if you just scratch the skin of a person from India, he said, you'll find Krishna consciousness. Scratch your skin. You see, So here, the task is made a little bit easier. Not so difficult. So according to how your authorities have constructed the Sankirtan movement, the various ways, educational programs in universities, seminars, and so forth, then you contribute. If nothing else, you can wash the clothes of the devotees going on Sankirtan. The mothers can feed them prasadam up to the neck. you can encourage them. But I've seen what Vaisheshika Prabhu has done in ISKCON Silicon Valley. There's so many good Indian people living there. Unfortunately, all the intelligent boys from South India, from Dravida Desh, who are doing the samskaras and studying the Sanskrit and becoming scholars and following Ramanujacharya, they've all gone to San Jose to become information technology students and make lots of money. But they're there, and Vaisheshika Prabhu has made an army of Indian families, the top book distributors in the world. Vaisheshika Prabhu ki. I've seen children as young as 7 or 8 on the streets of San Francisco. Excuse me, sir, have you heard of Lord Nityananda? Nana, who? Repeat after me. Nitya, Nanda. Thank you very much. Take this book. How much is it? You can give $100 or less. Or more. People give. It's possible for anyone and everyone to engage in sharing the good fortune with others. To take a little risk to go out and preach. We make more progress from blessings than we do our own efforts in Krishna consciousness. Our efforts, struggling, 16 rounds, the principles, the rules, but if you go out, the mercy falleth like a gentle rain from heaven, as Shakespeare put it. And in doing so, you'll see the same miracles that you read about in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why not? The Sankirtan movement is still alive. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still directing. Nitai is there. They want it to continue for 10,000 years. So you'll get mercy. You'll see things that ordinary people never see. What is a miracle? A miracle is something that contradicts the laws of nature. What is the greatest miracle? One time they asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what is your miracle? You can make the ashes come in the hand? Like, really, ashes? Sai Baba can do. Can you make a silver chain come from behind your neck? Prabhupada said, what is my miracle? He waved his hand. All these American boys and girls, they were Jaghai and Madhais, and now they're Vaishnavas. This is my miracle. But that's not enough, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who we must also please, he's the pioneer, he said, he will not be happy until all the 14 worlds are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So preaching does that. And you get to see this miracle of, as Sanatana Goswami says, there's a miracle. You can take bell metal and turn it into gold. By the process of Krishna consciousness, you can take an ordinary person made to Paka Brahmana Vaishnava. So preach and the miracles will be manifest before you. I remember one time, my Sankirtan party very much felt, not the wedding, we'd like to introduce you to this Imam from India. Yes, he has special prayer and he has very nice dance. But we stayed 45 minutes there. Somehow or other we escaped. Got on the car and we drove like mad to do shit. We got there at 12:30. We were driving through the center. There were bullets flying everywhere. The rival groups were fighting. We drove straight down. I said to Prahlad, this is much different than having kirtan. Getting shot at. And we drove up a little hill and came into the temple and laid down on our beds, and I turned to Prahlad, I said, I think I just had the most amazing dream in my life. He said, Gurudev, that was no dream. That was the modern day pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. Sri Nityananda's appearance day, K! Sri Panchatattva, K! Shri Prabhupada, K! Shri Krishna Sankirtan, K! Prem Dan Harinam Sankirtan Yagya, K! Hare Krishna Ma Mantra, K! Shri Nam Prabhu, K! Back home, back to Godhead, K! Take all the conditioned souls of the 14 worlds with us, Ki. Go Premanande! Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let us thank His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj for his wonderful, beautiful class of Lord Nityanand Prabhu's pastime in the past and in the present by 3 times loudly chanting Haribo. Thank you, Maharaj. So again a reminder, tomorrow morning Narottam Das Thakur appearance class by Maharaj again. So please come join us 8:15 a.m. onwards. Maharaj will be speaking on Narottam Das Thakur's pastimes. And those who cannot join, please hear live on ISKCON Desire Tree. Today is Nityanand Trayodashi Shringar dress, which we can see on the altar. The dress the deities are decorated with, has been sponsored by Dr. Sachin and Dr. Vrishali Bhosle from Dubai, seeking blessings from all devotees for spiritual well-being of their family. Let us express our best wishes, gratitude and prayers by loudly chanting 3 times, Haribol. Coming Saturday, 23rd of February, please, there's a reminder to all of you. There's Jagannath Rath Yatra, the annual Jagannath Rath Yatra organized by ISKCON Juhu Temple. So kindly be present, 1 p.m. onwards, the Rath will start and the lecture and the program will be Jamnaba Narsi ground in Juhu Temple, near Juhu. So now we'll have Kirtan and thereafter Prasad for everyone. Hare Krishna. Shivram Maharaj will say.
हरे कृष्ण अरे हारमोनियम रखो ना हारमोनियम उनका है अपना इधर अरे हारमोनियम निकालो हारमोनियम तब तक मैं नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे गदाधार शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद चंदे आरती के शोभा की बजयो जय गोरा चंदे आरती के शोभा जानवे तटावने जगमन लोभा जानवे तटवने जगमन लोभा शिव दक्षे नैनिता चाहा बामे गदाधार शिव दक्षे बामे गदाधार निकटे अद्वैता सेने बस छत्रधार निकटे अद्वैता सेने बस छत्रधार बनर हरे आदि कोरे चामर डुलाए कि बनर हरे आदि कोरे चामर डुलाए संजय मुकुंद वासो घोष आदि गाए शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल की वो शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करता मधुर मृदंग बाजे परम रसाला शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि थाय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल नी ताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल बहु कोटि चंद्र जेने वदन उज्ज्वल शिव बहु कोटि चंद्र जेने वदन उज्ज्वल देशे वनमाला तोर जलमाला गल देशे वनमाला तोर जलमाला शिव शिव सुख नारद प्रेम गद गाद भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरा रसंपादा आरती के शोभा की बजायो जय गौरा चांदे आरती के शोभा తటవానే జగమనలో జానవి తటవానే జగమనలో कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Oi! Oi, Nitai Gaur! Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Oh Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.